Good day, students. So today we are talking about the marketing environment. Remember that when we talk about the strategic planning, we said that the turbulent area around in our organization and or what are we trying to create and the value is always spending. And really that you have to have a great strategic planning or a great business plan and then be able to create the significant value. You've got to be in a sync with your environment and you have to understand what's going on. So the study of those kind of the environment is critical. For you being able to do a really good situation summary, for you to come up with a great plan, and then for you to have an organization objectives that are in the sync and the tandem with the needs and the requirements of the publics are that's what you need to serve. So we will talk about the environment and then how that's structured and things that we should take a look at. And those are the things that we are going to take a look at today. So we are going to talk about the factors that affect in the marketing environment. The centerpiece, as always, is consumers. Consumers may be influenced directly by the immediate actions of the focal company, and also the company's competitors, or the corporate partners that work with the firm to make and supply products and services to consumers. When you look at the diagram in the marketing environment, we've got the consumers in the middle. Every marketing diagram that you see the consumer should be in the center because that's the what and how the organizations need to be structured, and we need to make sure that we are very actively fulfilling consumers' wants and needs and then doing good job with it. So the immediate environment involves the company. So what are our strengths and the weakness? How are we doing? And then what's our core competencies? So that is about the firm. And also what's going on with the competition. This can be also very incredibly important, especially in the firms where there's a lot of the competitive rivals and then lots of the issues in the competition. Who are your corporate partners? Corporate partners can have a large part and how well we are going to be able to complete and move forward in the industry. There's the external environment. So consumers might be indirectly influenced by those macro environments, which includes the various impacts of the culture, demographics, social, technological, economic, political, and legal. We will discuss about those later. So I just put the definitions of the summary. You can read through and then review what I just mentioned about. One of the most important thing is that at the center, which is the consumer market, who we are trying to reach, and then who are we to make that exchange and engage those values every day. What's going on with the target market and those people who think are the mostly likely to buy from you. So you actually went out the market is segmented and then determined. So these are our people. So you should think about who are our segment and then who are our targets. These are the folks that who like what we have, and then also the reason what we are bringing this product to market is because that we can know how we delight them, and then perhaps it's kind of more sustained level and to fulfill their needs better than our just competitors. Keep in mind that as you look at your target audience, your audience change as the consumers change in age and as they change their roles. So as people's roles change, then they're in the out of the market, then therefore you have to understand your market and how dynamically it changes. Next, external elements. Things that are happening definitely change and then what's our in mind and what we think is important. If we impacted by recession and then other areas that can impact how we feel and then other elements that can change our opinions, they can change our choices that what we can or what we cannot get. So let's first talk about the cultural factors. Now we are going to talk about each of those external areas in a certain degree. But what is culture? Culture is basically a value system in a group of the people and the people that are living together in the certain areas. So they create culture, and then we have subcultures, like religion culture or regional cultures or the consumption cultures. So there are lots of the different subcultures. But when we take a look at culture, it's about the basic belief system of the group of people. So the things that we should understand about the culture is pervasive. It's everywhere, and then it's every part of the where we live. It's just kind of like those behavior norms and then things that are. People always said just, well, that's cultural. If you're talking about those different groups of people, they have some of the different belief system. Next, culture is also very functional because it creates some order. Like culture norms, cultural values create some of the level of the order within the system. Also, the culture is not inherited. We are important to a certain culture is something that we learn. So we learn these new systems, and then we learn from environment or culture that we are surrounded by. So the most important thing is it's dynamic, which is rapidly changing. And also these are the different attitudes that the norms and the different places. So as we see in the photo, religion can drive the certain types of culture and how we dress, and also even types of the family. So there are basic needs in the demographic factors. Demographics is essentially a social factor, and that's the population sorted by your gender, education, occupation, income, and going out trying to get everybody to participate in the census right now. So we understand that what demographic says here in the US, demographics are used as a basis of the media targeting. We know that who people are and then where they are. So understanding those demographics can be helpful to understand what's going on in the overall market. It's also play a role as the particular target markets that you're trying to serve. Okay, generational cohort is something that people like to talk a lot. Kind of okay, boomers is just a new joke. The joke of the year, just mentioning about the generational cohort. So we saw our basic population into the generational cohort. The reason we do that as the people who are born during the different time periods shared experiences, and also they share the different experiences. So it drives our value system, our judgment, our norms, and our behaviors. So when it comes to the target marketing, you really need to figure out your target. Things like millennials or the boomers, they are just kind of massive group. They are just huge group, and it's really just big. So then you have to have a new target definition. You've got to really just dive deeper in the benefits and then what people are seeking, and then what is their needs, and then how it's structured. Gender and the family. These are the demographic factors. So it is also impact a lot in the consumer's consumption behavior. Women and men desire different goods. But what we have seen recently in past 10 years is we have developed a huge apparel market with it just for the women's products and the men's products. But now it's just beyond that apparel, just kind of the one single sex apparel. Now the unisex apparels are become more popular. And also family is important things to study because we spend money as a household, and the household generally always in the people that share the resources in a certain degree, they have some of the common consumption that they do together. So we need to be very aware of what's going on in the families in the smaller size of the families, or what's dropping how to purchase it. So we need to be very aware of what's going on with the families regarding the size of the families or the incomes. So here are the examples of the gender, and the gender changes in a way how it impacts on the consumer's purchase decision. This past 10 years, the men's personal care product market is exploded. They have go crazy, and then this is definitely a social change that now we have a more permission to that men just explore this some grooming products beyond shampoo. So now that's pretty much the personal care is a highly gender specific. But when we see the companies like the Unilever or the P&G, those new companies try to supply the different new target of the group, which is the men's personal care products, and then come up with the lots of the product offerings that speak to different age groups. Ethnicity. We all know that it is changing, and as a marketer, you've got to understanding this to understand your external environment and the target audience. By the 2040 for the United States, whites will be minority. So we see a lot of the growing population in the Hispanic market, African American market, and Asian markets, and all different perhaps need the structures or the different cultural influences that you have to do as a marketer, and then need to create the alternative marketing mix for those markets. So probably they have the different tastes and the different preferences. So, but you cannot just consider all of them as just the one market. So you need to have a more deeper understanding of these different cultures and then different ethnic groups. And then also there are more different social trends. Different social trends that are happening when we just take a look. Lots of the big social trends like health and wellness, and also green consumers and the privacy concerns. So in these days, people are very cautious about obesity, so they have the concern about their health and wellness. And people are very serious about their vacation plan. And then moreover, the big social trends that we see as a marketer is that we start to looking at what's in the front of the packaging today, kind of high protein, low calorie, gluten free. Those things also is a good signal that people really take care of their health. People are very much concerned about the environment. If a company is now greener, there is a more sustainable practice, perhaps just more responsible, then consumers see more attractiveness there. So there's enhanced concerns about privacy, but it will be an ongoing since in the digital world with the technology development. And economic impacts. So what's going on with the economy? So one thing that you want to understand if you're a seller is how does your brand do the recession? How does your brand will do it during the inflation? How does it do with the strong dollar? So how do you react these different scenarios? Will be really important for you. So after the pandemic, we have experienced inflation, and it even impacts the baby diapers. So please watch this video and then learn about the concept of the price index. And technology has had immense impact on our life. It is going to continue that what we are basically used to constantly connect and with our friends and folks. So now we want to be constantly connected with the who we buy from as well. So we have been picking up groceries at HEB lately, and then just the app is crazy. They just tell me how soon I'm going to be there and then what to expect. So it's not just connecting with between our friends, it's also connecting with everybody who provides the services and even provides some of the utility or the satisfaction. And the organizations need to be aware that they want to be in the cutting edge of that. So you could actually provide services what the consumers want. Otherwise, you'll be marginalized because you just don't have the good enough technology, and then other people or other companies have a better technology, and then they can connect better. Probably, especially this is true regarding the online purchase context. So things that have changed with the technology is also very constant connectivity and time expectation. So we expect that everything to be handled immediately. So if you complain a company, then you expect a resolution within probably some hours. Other things that as great as a great deal of disintermediation. By this disintermediation, I mean that we have companies that sell directly to us opposed to selling through the retail stores. So there is more and more places that move us, and then we can buy our computer just right from Apple. We don't go to the Best Buy to buy just Apple products. So we can buy directly so that we can change both e-commerce and then brick and mortar commerce. And then also the communication has just changed things, the indication also that changed very dramatically. So we know that another area of the marketing that's great and is really helpful as we can get information for people in the real time, in the real context. So the marketing research, consumer feedback and the satisfaction information, something that we can get feedback faster. It shortens everybody's in the industry in the trial time or the experiential time. So it allows more the iterative and then hands-on product development work. Also the crowdsourcing, providing the quicker information, which is very great. And then, of course, the technology has been brought the many of the innovations for the product what we have been buying. So they actually create the game-changing scenarios for the way that we consume information. And the last thing, the political and the legal factors. So if you're going to grow internationally, you have got to know about what's going on with their governments and then what's are allowed and then how can you be successful from there. Tariff concerns are always all-time high. And then we talk a lot about the trade and the tariffs, how they going to work. And also another thing is the foods, drugs, the labeling. Those food drugs labeling that FDA seems to update and then change things very frequently. So what has to be able to label and then what you cannot be put on the label, you should be really aware of these informations. Like what can you advertise to kids and what you cannot advertise to kids. And also understanding some of the legal factors in the areas that you serve are critical, as well as that you can change some of the environment for you. So that obviously we are concerned about privacy as well. So our sense of the privacy or censorship is much more prevalent these days. So all of things that we mentioned here is become extremely important in the global markets. And that's it. Thank you very much for watching.